It's been a big season in terms of numbers, in terms of popularity for the NFL. Let's bring in MSNBC political contributor John Della Volpe with some of the numbers on that. John, good morning. Good to see you. So how popular does the NFL remain?
Extremely popular, Willie. You know, at a time when everything in America is political, when we have a hard time agreeing on priorities or whether there should be a special prosecutor, we find that the NFL is extremely popular. 2/3 of all Americans, 32%, a third would call themselves diehard fans of the NFL. 67% of Democrats, 71% of Republicans call themselves either diehard or casual fans. This is one of the truly moments this weekend when all Americans can come together and have something in common, which I think is clearly replaced baseball as our national pastime, and that's a good thing.
And your other chart, John, says, do you support or oppose Congress regulating player health and safety? That's one that gets at some of the problems, the CTE, what we've seen around Tua Tagovailoa this year going down, and he'll be out this weekend because of it. That is one of the things that concerns even diehard NFL fans.
Well, exactly, Willie. And because there's so much passion for the sport, I think what we've seen, especially the last week, is Americans really trying to protect, players across the league, and including the fact that if the NFL isn't doing its job, 66%, as you can see, 2/3 of all Americans and a higher number of diehard fans say Congress ought to intervene to make sure that basically our players and our family members are taken care of. It's their responsibility to oversee this, if the NFL doesn't do it properly.
So, John, you've got a polling question here. You're asking folks whether they think the NFL is doing a good job protecting player health. And we see here 56% say excellent or good. And I'll admit that surprised me a little bit. The Tua concussion story, a significant storyline all year long. No doubt in recent years they've tweaked some of the rules. The helmets are a little better. It's safer than it was, but it is still a brutally violent game. And this was underscored for us just 10 or so days ago with that hit, even though a routine hit. But it was a tackle that left Damar Hamlin in cardiac arrest.
I was surprised at that, honestly, as well, Jonathan. And again, this survey was conducted the weekend that everyone heard the great news that Damar Hamlin was on his way out of the hospital to make hopefully a full recovery. So we have to appreciate that. But as I reflected upon that, the NFL has done a good job communicating, and the announcers have communicating the rule changes that have been in effect. And what we found is that basically 85 or 90% believe that NFL is making some progress, that there's more progress to go. But overall, as you can see, on a 2-to-1, almost on a 2-to-1 margin, they think they're doing an excellent or good job. Look at that relative to the approval ratings of members of Congress or elected officials. So again, this is not to be taken for granted, I think, Jonathan. What the NFL needs to do is recognize that they're in a pretty good position now, but they need to continue to invest to make sure that they clean up the situation around Tua and obviously continue to protect the health and safety of players. Especially, one of the big divides in this survey is Gen Z versus older generations. Younger Americans are more suspect. They're less likely to be a diehard fan, and more suspect and more concerned about health and safety, more willing for Congress to intervene if necessary.
You know, we got an eye-popping reminder of just how popular the NFL is, even through all this, how enduring it is. On Thanksgiving Day, 42 million people watched the Cowboys play the Giants. That was an all-time record for the NFL for a regular season game, even in this era of fractured viewing. Very interesting stuff. John Della Volpe, thanks so much as always. We appreciate it. Good to see you.